as a matter of corporate law to pirate an idea. Quote me anywhere.
And I feel I'm blowing if I can get a wider range of audience.
No. When you say blow, what do you mean by blow? No, if you mean blow is that you're going to call you for shows only in December, you're just going that art that you've put out, 10 other people are making money from it. This is where Osagie makes her 10% from this.
Now, this particular event is called Music, Business and Drinks, and it is a quarterly event that is aimed at answering questions about music distribution from every and all perspective. The event is held in a fun, friendly environment, and individuals with in-depth working knowledge and experience of the music and entertainment industry offer insight and answer questions about the true business of digital music distribution, with an aim to demystify the entire process and make sure that all artists have true knowledge of the proceedings. There is also, of course, the drinks part of the event, where attendees are encouraged to network with experts, ask questions, and garner contact information, all towards the restructuring, improvement, and growth of the Nigerian music and entertainment industry at large.
Ladies and gentlemen, may we please welcome a special set of people who have come from far and near, all walks of life, here to sit and network and enjoy the music business talk. Ladies, gentlemen, a round of applause for your beautiful selves for coming to the second edition of the Music Business Talk. Now, I'd like to inform you that today's topic is the realities of music consumption in Nigeria, and asking a very pertinent question: is social media a vehicle for piracy? Now, before we swing directly into the talk of the day, I'd like to introduce myself. I go by the name Basi Ekbayong. Better still, you can call me Black Basi. Some of you know me from Big Brother. Others know me from my house. But thank you very much for coming here. We shall swing straight to the day. The first question goes to everybody, and it is, what is piracy? What primarily is piracy, and where does it apply?
For me, piracy is literally the illegal exploitation of intellectual property, and it applies across every content form. No, as long as you think it, as long as you create it, it's yours, and no one should benefit from it. Piracy is just someone just coming and saying, "Oh, this exists. It's not mine, but I'm going to profit off of it." So that in itself is piracy. Where does it apply? It applies in the creative industry for the most part. As long as anywhere where in the arts, in the creative industry, anywhere where people create stuff, whether content, music, everything, as long as you create anything, it's your intellectual property, and anybody who uses it wrongly is a pirate, without your permission, that is.
You seem to have something to add, Osagie.
Well, not really. He said everything. Where does it apply? He said creative, in the creative business. Yes, so if you're not sure what it means to create, like he said, create content or whatever. When you make music, when you write music, when you record music, it's your content. So if someone else decides to upload it by them, as in on their own, as in without you sending it to them, and decides to put it up for free or for sale without your permission, without your authorization, that's piracy. If you write a book and someone makes copies of the books and decides to sell it without your permission, without your authorization, that's piracy. If you have an idea that's yours and then you put it in public space and someone takes your idea and tries to does the same thing, exact same thing, that's piracy. So it pretty much applies in the creative space, as he said.
Speaking of piracy, this question is directed to you, Osagie. How is music pirated? Because we understand that music is such a viral art, and it is very easy to be pirated. So how is music pirated, and through what channels, is piracy promoted?
Okay, I don't know how music is pirated because I'm not a pirate, do you get? But I'll give you an example. I put out an album, like an EP today. It was meant to go live at 12. And at about 11:45, people were already sharing free download links of the entire EP. So it's like in that situation, people who probably are in Asia, who, like it's midnight there already, they download it, then they start to share to their friends, then it starts getting on blogs. That's piracy on its own. So I can't tell you how it's done, but then it's pretty much just taking what's not yours and making it available to your friends and family, or just putting it up for free. If you, for example, Timaya put out an EP today, you download it, you buy it by yourself on iTunes, you buy it, but you decide that, I want to be a good Samaritan and upload it on SoundCloud or upload it on WeTransfer and post the link on Twitter for anybody that wants to listen to the album to download so that I can get followers or get some engagements on my Twitter. That's piracy already.
All right, thank you very much, Osagie. Now, this next question goes to you, Joy Akan. Do you think music executives and or artists encourage piracy?
At the foundation of piracy in Nigeria are the artists. I could share a little story. When I entered the industry not too long ago, to be honest, I'm still a baby here. Some of the first people, I worked at Pulse. I was at some point I was music editor and all of that. People would release music. Previously, it was fair game for people to, drop their files. An artist like Shantiza would release a song, and then you get the MP3 file in your email, and there'll be an explicit request for you to publish that file. Just take it up, put it up, and give it to everybody. That in itself is enabling piracy. So with time, more education, more knowledge came into the game, and then a lot of people became more structured. We began to see links, your link tree, link fired. We had a lot of these links. But still, during my time, I worked with Universal, and there was a record we were meant to release, we were meant to work with. And we had done everything. We put it in through the system, they've uploaded everything. We were already like, okay, this is the rollout plan. We're set. Sent out the emails with the official links and everything. All of a sudden, what we saw on the internet was the links were everywhere. We began to investigate, like, the MP3 files, like, where did this come from? Where's the leak from? We checked our end, all our boxes were in place, everything was checked. Until we finally discovered that on a WhatsApp group, the artist manager gave them the file and said, make it go viral. Yes, that's direct aiding and abetting. We've seen other instances where an artist would have a problem with their record label, and then the next thing, they're like, oh, you don't want me to grow or prosper, therefore I'm going to pirate my music, and so they release it. People make records, and they take it to Alaba, and they say, Alaba, please, whatever you want to do, exploit it as much as you can, put it in all the mixtapes. They would even pay, a lot of people even pay to put it on those mixtapes. They're not going to make any money from it. Those people are just going to run with it. We are the first people in the industry, execs, A&Rs, musicians, were the causes, the original causes of piracy.
Now, we understand that, especially in Nigeria, where creativity, especially in the music industry, is overflowing on a daily basis, and we understand the need to promote and to create original content. Do you think piracy can be avoided in order to create and promote these original contents?
Okay, in Nigeria, yeah? I think we're in a very peculiar environment where, as content creators, we have the option of deciding between two things, whether it's popularity or commercial viability. And you take this further by asking yourself, the market that I'm catering to, can they afford it? Is there a demand? And how accessible is my product to them? So you have two different individuals. You have the one who wants to be popular and therefore says, like Joey's story isn't too far, it's not far from the truth, because a lot of people do that and say, I'd rather be popular, let the whole world have my music. It means that I will be in demand, I will get show, I'll be everywhere. I go blow. But not taking into cognizance the fact that you have put in a lot of, or your label has put in a lot of money to create this content off the back of the fact that from different levels you can make money, whether it's through streaming, whether it's from legal downloads. In this case, you go to Freeme Digital or Apple, you download music, you pay for it. It's legal. Or ancillary revenue generators. But the two interests are very diverse. So you begin to ask yourself, what's in it for me? You already have an environment that will enable piracy either ways. So how do you, as the business person, plug these loopholes? We'll release the musical, but we'll make it affordable. We'll release the musical, but only a few people have access to it. In the past, you've had a situation where a movie is supposed to come out at a particular day, and you find out that someone that is in the cinema that has released it. So the day that it's being released at the cinema, it's on the streets, on DVD. So find out what the demand for your product is. If you're going to give out a free download, let it be that. But that shouldn't be the status quo all the way through. So this is a teaser, but this is what you're going to get at the end of the day. So I will give you one single, which is free, but you have to get the whole album.
Now to our legal advisor.
You're not paying me yet.
Okay, so this question is to you, Lola. Are there any measures or are there any legal measures put in place to curb piracy? And if yes, are they effective? And I'd like the effectiveness of this. If yes, if to show they're effective, I'd like for you to explain deeper, because we're at an age where we believe almost nothing is effective. It is just by the books. So are there legal practices or legal stuff put up in place to curb piracy, and are they effective if yes?
Yes, there is just one in Nigeria, that's why I'm saying is. And that's the National Copyright Commission. That's their job. So in the National Copyright Commission, you have different departments, whether it's the audit, enforcement, prosecution, different types. And that piracy is part of what they do. And in as much, they also have people they call copyright inspectors. They are normal people like me and you. You could have one here, and you don't know. So sometimes they go to Alaba, which is where they have CDs. Sometimes they're just people that are on the road, and they just see that people are selling disc on the road or whatever it is. And then apart from that, we have COSON, which a lot of us think are not working. They are a collecting society that go around to say, you're using our person's music, third party, collect your license, your monies and all of that, administer and give it back to you. And are they effective? I'll be very honest to you, to a large extent, yes. And why? I'll give you reasons why they're not effective. First of all, we have a lot of barriers in Nigeria. Poverty, cultural barriers, we have corruption. Even the people that are working in NCC, NCC is the Copyright Commission, they are the ones that will tell you, in Yoruba, I love copyright, like there's nothing they're going to do to you. Nigeria, Lawa. You've seen issues like that. And then, apart from this thing, poverty is somehow, like, it's really terrible that somebody would rather download a song on www.xxx.com. I'm sorry, 2bd.com or something. But would rather download on the internet from this place, but will not go to Boomplay or Apple and buy a song for 20 naira or 99.9 cents. And if we know this, piracy is more expensive than buying. You have 100 naira. You do 100 naira subscription, take for example, and you want a song by Timaya. Go on Boomplay, sign up for free. If you cannot download, you can stream. But they will not pay 20 naira, but they'll go on somebody's loaded.com and download a song, which you don't even know. First of all, you might have malware on your phones, you might have viruses. Sometimes these sites have, probably they can hack into your computer or whatever, and we say, once somebody stole your BVN, they didn't steal your BVN. Sometimes you give them your BVN, whatever it is. So the copyright commission is doing their job, COSON is hardly doing their job, but as individuals, as me and you, people that pirate, we're all here. I'm not going to lie, all of us do. I've been a victim to it. I used to download from fsmovies.com. I'm sorry. And I say XS, whatever.com, and all of these things. And as a creative yourself, you have to do it. And for legal part, the first thing we do is we have clients when they come and meet us and say, oh, somebody is pirating my song. We send a cease and a desist letter. And you could have, as a creative, there's a site called AudioMark, Muso. You pay them, they are the guys that do, if you can't do it yourself, they are the guys that prune the web for you. So once they see, but it's quite pricey to time, but they help you pull down your songs. And as lawyers, my senior colleagues, both of them are here, Foza and Ire. Before I joined the firm, there were times they were sleeping in Alaba. They slept for like a week because they were trying to pull down one of our clients' songs away from all the shelves in Alaba. So we do that sometimes. So there's sometimes I have to stay away because I have to be on the internet because my clients, there are some sites I've never heard in my life before. And that's what I do. Try to do pull down, cease and desist, and all of that. But as individuals first, as a creative, insist that your record label does the right thing. You see some they want to roll out a song, you'll be checking this thing. The first person, you not even see iTunes first. The first thing you see is one blog that we are going to pay to put your money, to put your song in, and they're not going to give you things, and then they have more traffic, and then those people are the ones that sit on panels to tell you, release your song, you're going to make money. How? My song is on your blog, uncle, and you're not giving me nothing, 5 naira. So at the end of the day, you can't shoot yourself in the leg and crowd foul. You have to do the right thing.
Thank you very much indeed. I think it is very soothing that people like you and your colleagues, due respect to them, are taking the practical steps to go into the field to physically pull down songs and content. And I think it's a way forward for the music industry in Nigeria. Now, as a follow-up question, what are the legal implications of piracy? Do we have any?
Yes, we do. It could be civil and it could be criminal. Civil, that is, when we send cease and desist letters, in the letters we always provide that you account for the profit you've been making since the day that you have uploaded that song, if you have a date for it. We also have that, this is from us. Then from the court, we have civil, like they'll tell you to account for profit too. They might seize, e.g. for people that copy CDs, they'll seize the equipment that they use in doing that. They might also have cost and profit, that is the court to say, oh, pay this morning and all of that. But for criminal, you go to prison and you pay a fine. But we have to be very honest about it. Our laws, and good news, our Copyright Act is in works of getting stricter. In the Copyright Act, it says the highest amount you can pay is like 100,000 naira and 5 years imprisonment. Nobody has really gone to prison. I think if people start going to prison, we'll be happy. 5 years, if I can pay 100,000 naira and go to 5 years, I'll pay you double of my 100,000 naira. So yes, there are going to be stricter punishments than the 5 years and 100,000 naira. And we too should start reporting. This is the year of suing anybody. Don't say because he's going in the industry. Sue him. I'm here. We are here. Sue him.
Thank you very much. All right, this next question goes to Emem and Osagie. So, outside of the bodies, outside of the legal bodies and federal bodies, what can we do to control piracy?
I think, for the most part, change the mindset. When people understand that when you illegally consume someone else's IP, it's wrong. You're taking money off of the mouths of people's kids. I think if you speak the same language to them, where you understand that you're taking money out of my pocket when you do these things, they'll be more amenable. And like Lola had said, the policies also have to be strict and in place to protect the copyright owner for the most part. And also from a talent representation angle, find out where all the loopholes are and plug them. Protect your client, protect yourself. And if there's a demand, please provide a supply that will make sense to all parties concerned?
We can talk about how all the steps we can take, and we can plead with people to do the right thing, but at the heart of it is a strong cultural problem. We like free things. Osho free. Everybody wants to get ahead. Nobody wants to pay for anything. And also, we know the system is lax. Take, for example, a lot of us here make music, are involved in the music business. First, education, number one. If people see music as something that, it's intangible, no be song, na song now. Yes, now it's just song now. Why are you stressing me? Like, I had a conversation with a friend, not a friend the other day, like someone I know, and I'm like, my phone is low, I want to be the DJ in this setting, let me play from your Apple Music. And the person's like, waiting be that. And I'm like, Apple Music, I want to stream the music. The person's like, no, check my folder. I'm like, how did you get the songs? And he's like, we download them now. And I tried to say, this is a crime, And the person's like, what's your business? Nobody's checking me. Nobody's going to jail. First, people, we only respect force and we only respect punishment. If there's a huge case of people going to jail, like you download, you get fined, you pass through the legal system, you end up in prison. Nobody wants to go to prison, number one. Number two, we need to find a way, the country, NCC, every relevant party, we need to find a way to end free music. We need to find a way to make it unavailable. We can argue, there's poverty, a lot of people can't make money, a lot of people don't have access to these things. But every day, one thing I've noticed is the moment you stop something, people would always find a way. Music is, in case we don't know, music is as important as, for a lot of people, music is as important as the food we eat. For a lot of people, people can't exist in this life without music. People go crazy when they don't have access to music. A lot of us here. So by the time you say, hey, there's no free music anywhere, you bring down all the websites, sting operation, everybody goes down. The ISPs are contacted, everything is done by the book. Nobody has access to anything again. Like in the US, the only way they can get access to this thing is through torrent, and down here, torrent is too expensive. A lot of people can use torrent. Take that out and people don't have that anymore. Educate them. When people say, oh, look left, look right, and they can't get music, what will they do? They would buy, of course. They would buy. Like, you can't tell someone now, pay 1 naira for something when the person can look the other way and see it for free. That's backward hustling to that person now. So we need education, holistic education. We need punitive measures to be in place, and then we need to take free music out. It's the elephant in the room. We don't need free music. It's killing everyone. And the sooner we find a way to sort out this free music, then the better for all of us. We don't have Spotify here. Think about it. Spotify is in Africa. There's a hub on Spotify for African music. But we in this country, in Nigeria, where the Afrobeat is coming from, we don't have access to Spotify. Apple Music, are they in this country? Not exactly. They might have like liaison officer, people to handle their accounts or agents, but like they're not in this country. They're not investing here. They have all our music, everything, but they're not here. And it's things like this that affect us. I checked the number of people on Apple Music in Nigeria. Everybody screams, oh, we're doing well on iTunes, we're doing well on iTunes. I checked the number of subscribers in this country. If you know, you would weep. The number of subscribers from this country, it's abysmal. It won't move the needle. That's why artists will carry their music and go and market in other places, because this market cannot support them. They can't sell records. They can't sell the music that they make. Imagine making this mic and you can't sell it. Instead, everyone's using it for free. Your mic. So that's what we need. Once we can find a way to cut that out, and it involves a lot of work, then our problems will be sorted. Then we won't have to come up here and have a panel that says, oh, I beg now, no tea from us. No, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please a round of applause to wonderful finalists. Panelists, rather. Over to Mark.
So now we're going straight into the question and answer session. We've tried to make ample arrangements for the question and answer session. So I'm sure that everyone has a written question. If you've written your question and you'd like us to answer it, just raise it up. Somebody's going to pick it from you right now. But we're going to give opportunity to members of the audience as well to ask their questions directly and direct them to any member of the panel. I would also like to remind us that immediately after this, we're going to transition into the networking session. Those of us that know us know that there isn't any party like a Freeme party. So I just want to let you know that it's about to go down, so don't go anywhere because we're just getting started. If you have a question, please put your hands up and I'll try to get you a microphone so you can ask your questions directly. Do I have questions?
I'm an Artiste, kind of a music manager, but not major yet.
Sorry, would you be a little bit more audible so the audience can hear you?
I'm directing my question to the lawyer.
So, Lola, this is your question.
Okay, he's doing recording cover of a song. Is he also pirated? That's the first question.
Making a cover of a song.
Yes.
If you're going to be selling it, it is not necessarily piracy, but it is to an extent. You're getting money from it.
My name is Oyedele. I'm the label manager for Monkey Media House. My question is, do you think that the economy in Africa generally affects the way we consume music? Because as a record label manager, we market and distribute most of our music outside Africa because that is the best way we can actually make money from digital stores and other platforms. But do you actually think the economy, like I'll give you an example. I don't have any music on my phone, but I listen to music a lot. So I stream all my music. But I meet people who tend to ask me, oh, isn't it expensive? How do you keep up with spending data on this? So do you feel the economy in Africa generally affects the way we consume music?
Okay. So I carried a research last year. It's into like the economics of music consumption in Nigeria and by extension other countries. And to be honest, this poverty thing that people use as an excuse for crime, it's everywhere. The same way you have people that can't eat in Nigeria here, it's the same way you have people that can't eat in South Africa. It's everywhere. So there's no, and one thing I discovered is the higher the income for other countries, the higher the income of the people, the income class, the more they're able to pay for. They have spending power. So a lot of them is actually, for many of them, is prestige. For those who don't have a culture of buying stuff, of buying music, for many of them it's prestige. But a lot of the countries that I use, South Africa, Kenya, it's hard to find free music. So everybody buys in whatever way they can, everybody buys their records. So the only reason why it's different here, why we have that excuse of, oh, people are too poor, is because there's free music available. By the time you take that out of the equation, that guy that doesn't have money to pay, doesn't have 100 naira or 200 naira to subscribe for streaming, or 900 naira for Apple Music to subscribe for streaming, but he has 900 naira to use and play Too Sure at the sports betting company. It's because he has it for free. So the economy would support it everywhere. The economy would support it. Put the same thing in the US or in the UK, in all these developed countries where you market your music or distribute your music. Take out all the laws, take out everything. Do you think people would still want to get it would still want to pay money for it? So yeah, economics is not an excuse. People need to pay for music.
I want to say that you should please cancel the culture of Nigeria don't buy music. Let me say that one of the biggest artists in Nigeria, biggest three, let me start from, you have Tope Alabi, you have Sinach, you have David. Tope Alabi, if I'm correct, please, Ire Amfosa, made Shola listen, we know the age of raw person, made 1 million streams on, or downloads, whatever, on Boomplay. Who bought the song? Nigerians. Tope Alabi too did the same thing. Simi on Boomplay did the same thing. If Simi, that's last year was 1 million. If this is 2019, I'm very sure it has increased now. Please check your phone and boom play. It has increased now. So if Simi, on the album, I'm not just talking about one single song off the album. If Tope Alabi is one of the biggest artists in Nigeria, and I'm not just talking about physical sales, I'm talking about digital sales. Her song with T.Y. Bello was trending on YouTube. Like, it came out in 5 minutes, and before we said Jack, it was people are going to buy your music. The people that will buy will buy.
So I have a question. I have 2 questions for Chinko that actually came in his attendance. Welcome, Chinko. We know that it's Lagos. It's fine. You're welcome. So I have 2 questions for you that were asked in your absence, and we made record of them so that you would offer clarity when you came. The first question was, from an artist's perspective, how directly has piracy of music affected you? Because we know that you started music professionally in 2011, so it's been a long time coming. How personally has piracy affected you? 3 questions, actually. There were 3 questions. How personally has piracy affected you as an artist, from an artist's point of view? As a lawyer, what practices have you engaged in to reduce this? And then the third question was, do you think that musicians and music executives encourage piracy of musical content? So please, go ahead.
Okay, if I must say, piracy is unauthorized or illegal duplication or distribution of content without the consent of the real owner. So, in one way or the other, there are 2 sides to the coin. Piracy has affected me in an advantageous way and its own demerits also. Okay, one of the most pirated works in the world is Game of Thrones. I hope you know.
Audience, is this correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's getting a wide range of audiences because not everybody can go through the right channel. You understand? And the thing that is killing us is that we are all hypocrites. Ask me why.
Why?
Okay. I want to blow. And I feel I'm blowing if I can get a wider range of audience listening to my song. Whether they get it from the sky or they get it on the floor, that will not concern me. I just want my music to be everywhere. But it's just that the country where we find ourselves, things don't work the way it should be. And it's really not my fault that I'm from this part of the world. So that's why I said it is advantageous to me, because even those that are not even getting my consent to using my songs for any of their things, you know, to some extent, I want to hear my song everywhere. It's really, really cool. But the piracy part of it that I don't like is some brands, like some makeup brands and some event organizers, I must say, like the wedding event organizers, a lot of people that are making money and they use my song on their clips and I don't get a dime. Okay, we are all hypocrites too, to some extent. Let me say, I will not say I support piracy, but there's a point whereby myself, I'll take my own song to the headquarters of piracy to go and pay and say, please, I want my song to blow. Hey, it's just because of the part of the world that we find ourselves and the fact that the whole music industry world is quite saturated and is the journey of the survivors.
Okay.
To be sincere though. So the second question, please.
All right. So the second question is with your fans. The second question is with your law background.
Yeah.
What practices do you take? Because you said that there are 2 sides, and so there is of course the detrimental side, and many members of the panel have tried to shed light on that detrimental side and how it affects artists negatively in the loss of profit that should come to you, which you just emphasized on.
Another problem we have is piracy is not only encouraged by the pirates itself. The listeners and the consumers are a whole lot of problem. Trust me, according to research, to some extent, I stand to be corrected, only 20% of Nigerian artists get what they deserve to get.
Music execs, Osagie, is this information correct?
I don't know.
like I said, there's a caveat. I stand to be corrected.
Lola, is this information
yeah,
correct?
yeah, you get me.
Is
So
the information correct? It's in the range. Okay.
yeah, to
Okay.
some extent. So the thing is, you cannot control the consumers easily. There's a limit to what you can have or to what you can control.
I'm sorry. I see Joey shaking his head very vigorously. He kept doing this.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I said, the way this country where we find ourselves in, most people are not ready to buy.
Okay.
Okay, like I said, I stand to be corrected. Most people are not ready to buy.
Okay.
That is why when you open most of the blogs, you get like high downloads and all that stuff, and it's really killing us. And to some extent, we are not getting the money that we are supposed to get back.
Okay.
So let's be sincere.
Okay.
Everybody is entitled to his or her own opinion.
Yes.
But I must say, in my own opinion, in this part of the world, we don't like to buy. The information is just getting to us. Like our eyes is just getting opened to what is called digital market. Most of the Fuji artists and those people that started music way back, they didn't have all these privileges that we had and the information. And whether you like it or not, knowledge is power.
Thoughts of this. I'd like to hear Basi's thoughts since he's also an artist. Basi?
I would like to agree totally with Chinko.
I was waiting for that. Okay. I'm sorry. Artists in the house, do we agree with Chinko?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. We need to understand that everybody wants to blow finally, and it is not a crime. It is okay to want to blow. That's why you're doing the music business anyways. But you cannot even compare the Nigerian market with the American market. There is no legal, it's not even legal, I don't even think it's obtainable. However, I released the song a couple of months ago and I put the link up on my page. And everybody who clicked, including my fans and friends, would come to my DM and ask me, Alpha, send me the MP3. How am I supposed to blow with those kind of requests? Or how am I supposed to generate money if I'm constantly having to fashion or to entertain those kind of requests? So this is a direct question to you now. How do you handle people who always want you to send the MP3 to them and who do not want to go to the place to download the song for 100 naira?
Okay, before Joey answers that, before you answer that, Lola would like to answer that. I have a microphone here, so she'll answer that and then you answer that. Okay, Lola, that one is louder, so please use that. Go ahead.
To Chinko, to Baski, and I was going to mention Baski, that was my head. To Chinko and to Basi, I'm very sorry to announce to you that you cannot tell me that what do you mean by blow? I need to understand that concept, blow. If you mean blow, you want to wake up tomorrow and be a David and a Wiz, it's not even possible. No. When you say blow, what do you mean by blow? No, if you mean blow is that you're going to call you for shows only in December, you're just going to be booked just in December. What happens from January to November? I have to say this because it's really annoying when people say that you just want to blow. When you mean blow, I was going to mention Baski because Baski is a talent of ours. Baski's song is not on any website, and Baski still receives money from whether Boomplay, iTunes. When you mean blow, blowing means I can just sit in my house and bim, 200K in my account. Where is it coming from?
Okay, Lola, I think that
you
there
can't
is a
necessarily say
disparity.
blow.
I think that there is a disparity.
What do you mean by blow?
I think that there is a disparity. Blow is success. Somebody at the back said blow is to be booked from January to December. So I think Chinko has to.
Blow is relative, to be honest.
Okay, so blow is relative.
It's very relative. That's
Okay.
what I want.
Okay.
Yeah, blow is not the issue here. Blowing is the fact that we're here to talk about
Sorry.
piracy,
Guys,
and then
sorry,
the
one
people
second.
that are supposed to be
Sorry, 1 second.
the
Audience.
artists are saying, please.
1 second. Audience, please. I understand that Chinko has shaken the table. I understand that he has really shaken the table. And the purpose of this panel session is to get as much information as we can. So please, we will take all your questions.
All right.
Okay?
I was
Go
going
ahead,
to mention a name. There's someone called Radiohead. You can Google him now. When he gave out his songs and said, if you're going to download, like he gave out the option, give me, will you download my song for 20 naira? A lot of people, I'm XXX naira, and everybody said, oh no, we're not going to have downloaders. Most people chose free downloads, and it sold over 3 million copies. Do you know why? Because his shows are amazing. You can't tell me I'm coming for your shows and if we're not, I mean, you have to give something extra. That's what we've been saying. And there's, blow is relative, please. I mean, that thing, it sparks up a
Blow
lot
is
of...
relative. Chinko, you wanted to say something on that, or do I hold on to it and come back to you? Tiger.
Yeah. I don't even know where to start, Seth.
So do you want me to come back to you?
Oh, wait. The problem is, let's be sincere. As I am like this, I can decide to be on the defending side
Of the artist.
I can decide to be in our own perspective.
Okay.
But I think I was just too sincere. Trust me.
You were too sincere.
Yeah, I think I was too sincere. But the fact is, if you are a street artist, trust me, it has to get to your market one way or the other.
Okay.
Trust me. And don't expect person where they push wheelbarrow to go on boom player, man.
Hey.
Before
Chinko
Chinko goes.
Shaking the table.
Hey. Before Chinko goes, I want us
not
to...
going
No. I want to create something. He said the street market. Do you know that you can go to Alaba and talk to responsible people? Alaba, we understand that they have duplicating people.
Yes,
they are more of a
please.
competition. No.
Okay.
Please, people should allow Foza to talk, please. I really want her to say something.
For those of us that don't know who Foza is a leading entertainment lawyer. So we'd like to hear our thoughts on this. Foza, if you would.
Very practical example, Chinko. And I don't even know if I should do this, but because we're being real here. Because we need to, first of all, as artists, you guys need to stop thinking that this thing is about you. It's no longer about you. It's an art that has been put out to make money. So if everybody on your team alone, right, your manager is my friend. Your manager, I've been telling him for the past 1 year to pay me and put me on a retainer service. Your manager has been going round and round and saying, oh, no, you know, the money is not yet right, Now, I remembered when the song started popping. I know, because of the information I have, what to do to keep it sustaining. But I'm not going to release it. You know why? Because I don't even think you guys understand that art that you've put out, 10 other people are making money from it. This is where Osagie makes her 10% from. This is where Emem makes her. This is where everybody. So if you think that it's about you, for when people are sitting down and fighting every day to ensure that this thing makes money, then I don't even think you guys get it. And that's why the industry is where it is today. So if someone it's very simple. Let me tell you, it's very, very simple. And see, if you have agbalumo on your shelf and someone comes and says, I want it for free, why are you going to sell it to them? Why? And that's why you people keep voting idiots into power. No, but that's the truth. No, that's the truth. So, if you are going to give people your music for free, you don't even respect your talent. You don't how much does it cost you to go into a studio? To mix a song is 150,000 naira.
Are you serious?
To use a good producer, you're spending up to 500,000. And you think in your right senses, it makes sense to give Naija Loaded 20,000 naira to put up the song for free.
I have a member of the Boomplay team in the house that's going to give us some insights. And this one is particularly for the artist. And then the final question is going to be from an artist about an actual scenario. And that's how we're going to round up. Please, we're taking no further questions.
I'm not speaking, I want to say something clearly. I'm not speaking from an opinion point of view. I'm speaking from a fact and numbers point of view. I'll repeat it again. So you can come to me to come and ask me and I'll share it to you.
Yes, please. Hold your questions.
Now, I want to ask you a question here in this room. The man that uses wheelbarrow on the street and that uses phone, what type of phone do they use? I want to ask you. No. Which type of phone do they use? They all use phones. Please, excuse me. We don't need to rush. I want to inform. I'm not here to argue. Which type of phone do you say they use? Exactly. So are you aware that Boomplay works on feature phones? Wait. I'm only asking you a question. Now, let me tell you something now. Chinko is speaking from an artist's point of view, and I respect it. Because the pressure that comes on a creative person is not that easy. You can't, if you're pressurized, you have pressure. You cannot be thinking about business. So I implore you to always talk to your manager. I mean, don't come and put Chinko on the spot. But first of all, Boomplay has 18 million Nigerians using it. 18 million Nigerians. And those Nigerians are not lucky kids. 16 million. I'll answer you again. Yes, I can hear you. 16 million Nigerians are using Boomplay. You know what they are doing? Just hold on now, Oga. Boomplay is just 3 years old now. But YouTube, 118 million Nigerians are using YouTube. And they are paying for the videos they are watching. How? Exactly. You know, when we begin to talk, it's good to speak, it's good to speak from an informed point of view. Wait, even the guy putting your song on blogs that you are going to download for free, do you know you are paying for it? Do you want me to explain to you how you are paying for free blogs? No. Wait, just hold on.
Please.
You are jumping the gun.
That there be civility and consideration.
Yeah, I would say it again. There's no piracy in Nigeria. Open your ears carefully. Good. When a song does not get to a blog, unless you send it to them or you have a prior relationship to them. That's what we've learned. If you go to Nigeria Loaded that some of us are complaining about, there are some people's songs they don't have. I don't think has any one of you seen Fela's album on the streets before in Alaba? You cannot, where? Whose album? Fela's album. If you see the album, buy it. I'll give you 5,000 when you see it. I'll drop my number, yes. I'm telling you categorically here. But let me go on. What I need you guys to know is, if you decide to make your music free and you continue to follow that path, I'm not cursing you. Nobody's going to invest in you. It's not a curse. No, because the reason I'm telling you this is because I'm speaking from a numbers point of view. I have facilitated over 20 deals in the last 1 year, and none of it was based on free music. Everybody in the music industry knows here. I've put more money on record labels than anybody in Nigeria in the last 2 years when it comes to sales of music. So what I'm saying here is, I'm not going to, he's an artist, he can say whatever he wants, but if you want the opportunity, and I don't understand, Joe is right, why are you saying Nigeria is saturated? Where is Mercy Chinwo from? Where is Tokwe Alabi from? All these guys don't come from Lagos. They just come and perform and they leave. How much do they have? Are you joking? Your B-list artist is not as rich as Tokwe Alabi. Yeah, exactly. So if Lagos is not the only place in Nigeria, Lagos is just a commercial city. There are many artists in Port Harcourt, in Enugu, in Osun, making good living and traveling out of this country to perform. Jos, Kaduna. Don't always go online, sink in a narrative, and then tell yourself. You need to get that straight. So for me, I understand Chinko's point of view. I understand he's a creative person, but there are 1,000 ways. And to be honest, all of you that are giving your music to blog, go and look at these bloggers. They are rich enough and they are feeding themselves. And you are still struggling. Yes. If you think that you are justifying yourself and your level to blow. And to be honest, what is blow? I don't know any artist in the last 5-10 years in Nigeria that you can point out to me that is giving his songs for free and is successful. I'll tell you it's not, and I have facts. So I'm not speaking with you from opinion. I'm telling you the truth here. If you continue to give your music out for song, you will remain that artist that keep begging people through WhatsApp. Because nobody will sign you if you cannot show that you are making money. And that's the truth.
Thank you very much. All right.
I've listened to some of the opinions from various speakers. And I think we are failing to realize that we cannot address digital problems with analog approach. We cannot get there. Okpayemi has said a lot of things about monetizing your works online.
Maybe you can say that, yes, because he operates in that business, he's trying to protect his business or his market. No. No. Look, music is not just about you. Music is about everyone on the copyright value chain. If the income does not trickle down, we cannot have a creative industry that can employ 3 million people. It's impossible. Now, let me speak to the first question. Basi asked a question about what is piracy. Someone referred to an idea being pirated. It is legally impossible as a matter of copyright law to pirate an idea. Quote me anywhere. Idea is not protected under copyright law. It is the expression of your idea that gets protection. So if you have an idea and you just give it out anyhow, you don't fix it, you have given out your raw material and you have nothing.